Welcome to our second episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. When we left off, we had just talked to Jan Bach, local sailor, and we're going to begin investigating a mystery. Jan has been plagued by strange occurrences and needs the keen eyes and ears of the members of the library to get to the bottom of why. Now, the three gifted members of the library, Caelan Tegan, Julian Benavides, and Sofie Ingesdottir, are going to be heading out to find out what they can. They have been carefully, meticulously crafting a plan for how they will absolutely, definitely get to the bottom of this, right, everybody?
Not likely.
Woo!
That inspires my confidence.
Roll to see if I'm getting drunk.
Maybe it'll be fine.
Can I just roll to figure it out?
No, that's absolutely not how the game works.
No, bummer.
All right, so at the start of every mystery, each character is going to gain an advantage. This is something that's inspired them. This is some training that they can fall back on. Maybe they've been practicing off-screen with a firearm, or reading an inspirational book, or staring into the depths of a crystal ball. Or maybe you made a new friend who's just super cool and was chatting with you about something, and you can now fall back on that new knowledge. Once during the course of a mystery, you can choose to use your advantage to gain 2 additional dice on a test, which could be the difference between passing and failing. Phoenix, what is Julian's advantage for this mystery going to be?
Yeah, Julian has spent some time with his favorite fiddle, which is a gift from Madame Lou. And he has spent some time playing it and just kind of getting the rhythm going.
Excellent.
When you said he was spending time with his favorite fiddle, I couldn't help but think of that as a euphemism. And then it just kept going.
Not where I was going with it, but,
just getting the rhythm going.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no jokes here.
Whatever.
I got nothing to follow that up with.
Caelan, what... No, hang on. Let me roll that back. Quinn, what is Caelan's advantage going to be? I've gotten too deep in the game.
Yeah. He is going to spend some time down at the docks, sharing drinks with various disreputable folks, asking about the ship, which we learned is named... What is it named?
The Fiskesøker?
The Fiskesøker. And kind of just relaxing after the sudden appearance of some very scary coins.
Mm-hmm. Marvelous. So, last but never least, Erin, what is Sophie's advantage going to be?
She has a little journal of her mother's that's written in Norwegian, and sometimes she just goes and reads some of the familiar passages, and it kind of brings her comfort. And so she's done that.
Now, is this journal where some of her sayings have come from?
It 100% is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Now, to save you, our dear listener, we have gone through all of the preparation of purchasing equipment, a step that Vasan does at the beginning of each adventure. This is a lot of admin that you probably don't want to have to hear. So, our players have successfully armed themselves with a few items bought around Ballard, including a hurricane lantern, a set of simple bandages, and most importantly, an additional shotgun. I'm sure none of these will come up or be significant.
I mean, it's fine. We got the gun and the bandages. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, nothing could go wrong. Now, last but not least, Erin, you had that amazingly good roll on your learning check while researching those coins last time, so you are actually going to begin this mystery with one additional advantage. You have an extra advantage called All That Glitters. So at some point during the mystery related to money, related to wealth, related to bribes or coercion, you can also use that advantage.
Nice. Awesome.
Now, our last bit of preparation, if you want to, you can go to the library and do a little bit of research, getting ready for what's to come.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured I knew whether that was going to be a yes.
I mean, I'd like to give it a shot too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what's the timeline like? We spend how much time? So, like immediately after our meeting with Jan, we leave to go like chill out for a bit, and then we meet back at the library that evening, or what's exactly going on?
Time can be a little bit funny here. So it could be you did your preparation at the library beforehand, so doing your research and then going out shopping. It's not necessarily an exact order of things.
Okay.
So you've generally got like a day or two kind of prepping and getting stuff going. Jan is just going to go back to work and, per his plan, pretend he doesn't know you, since the other sailors are getting pretty suspicious of him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, how can we, should we go maybe talk to, is it Agda?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe go and ask her if she knows anything, are there any books on old coins? Or does she remember any books about stuff that might help us regarding the fact that it's on a boat, that this stuff is happening on a boat, etc., etc.?
So I will let each of you research up to one topic. Aaron, would you like to research the ghosts or shipboard spirits or the mysterious coins?
I'll research the shipboard spirits, yeah.
Interesting. Quinn, do you want to research mysterious coins?
Yes, please.
When you start asking for those books, you get a long, piercing stare from Agda's good eye.
Oh no, I forgot to hide.
I'll be watching you, boy.
Okay. I'll just be reading.
See to it that there are no folds in my pages.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. She begins puttering about the library, getting books off of shelves, moving things around, pulling things down, and soon starts piling up a few of the different books in front of each of you. All right, so Aaron, you are going to be able to track down quite a bit of information here. There are countless stories of ghostly hauntings, creatures of the sea, spirits of ships. There is a lot of material that she's able to bring you.
Awesome.
Can I get a learning test from you?
Are you joking? 0 successes out of 8 dice. That is 13 dice that I have rolled tonight that have had 0 successes.
So
this is going great. I know nothing.
We really did crank through those successes early on.
Yeah, like I said, I got to use up all your good ones during test rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn, could I get a learning test from Caelan?
Yeah.
And you may take a +2 bonus on it.
+2?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah. Nope.
Wow.
Marvelous.
Wait, that's not right.
You have a condition penalty.
Oh, right. Yeah,
because you're afraid as you do research.
Yeah, I am. Remind me how pushing works. If you succeed, do you still take the condition?
You do.
Okay.
But you take it after you roll.
I'm
tempted. I really want to know about
I am
these
really
coins.
tempted too, because I would get that many more dice, but I just don't know if it's worth it to start the mystery with a condition.
I mean, Quinn's willing to start 2 down.
I didn't say it
Yeah,
was
but we
willing.
know Quinn. They'll just be like, sure,
Completely
give me all
broken.
the conditions until I die, and then I'll keep taking conditions.
Was it a collapsed chest? And
This is like a bowling ball to the chest, essentially. And they're like, yeah,
right.
let's keep going.
We don't even know what terrible conditions Caelan's going to get yet.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the future. So, unfortunately, the two of you sort of fall down a rabbit hole. There are a
That's
lot of books here.
true to life.
Yep. I figured that research rabbit hole would feel familiar.
Mhm.
You come across books about spirits, you come across books about sea monsters. There are a lot of stories about ghosts appearing on ships and haunting them if they have unfinished business, but you can't quite seem to find anything that resonates with the story that Jan described. There's just nothing here that quite lines up. You might be able to come back later after doing some investigation and try again, but I will leave that up to you.
Great.
Quinn, as Caelan starts to really dig into some of these books, there's just a cold feeling that goes down his spine. It could be there's just something unsettling here. It could be the evil eye that Agda has had laser focused onto you the entire time. Or how occasionally Thorn gives you a very, very striking look. Like this dog is watching you.
Wait, what? I thought Thorn and I were bros.
You are, but now you've got books in hand.
Oh.
Is she doing the same thing to me?
Nope.
No? Okay. Do I notice this, that she's pointedly like
Oh yeah.
tracking him?
Yeah, no, it is no secret that she has given him the hairy eyeball.
Mm.
I mean, while you guys are doing your research, I mean, I leave the book stuff to the nerds. So, I mean, I'm just, I've got Thorn's face between my hands, and I'm just giving him all the, the face and ear rubs, and he is a very good boy. He's a very good boy.
They probably send you out to go grab some food occasionally. You are able to kind of spend a little bit of time practicing your fiddle. Like you've got just some time to relax while they're digging into things.
Jeremy,
And obviously getting some dog time too.
Get some lunch with me if you would. Got to keep the strength up for these as they're doing all of this nerd stuff that they're really, really good at.
Caelan isn't like particularly good at nerd stuff. He just was giving it his best shot.
Now,
that's what's important is you try.
Aaron, as you are just about to wrap up, you happen to spot something. One of the books that Agda had gotten out for Caelan had actually fallen under his table and had gone unnoticed in his search.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Well, I will definitely pick it up and hope that Agda didn't notice that he dropped one.
I think it has gone unnoticed. Do you give that one a looking over as well?
Yeah, of course.
This one is kind of interesting. It talks about old folklore related to magical gold coins. In the story, they are called dragagul, or dragon's gold. They are a handful of beautiful ancient coins with the faces of kings and mythic beasts that have been worn away over centuries and by many hands. This feels exactly like what you've been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So, in game terms, you learn that the dragagol, which is definitely what this is a pouch of magical coins. These coins can be invested and reap wealth. So, sort of like the story of planting dragon's teeth. If a character invests the dragagol, they will gain +2 wealth. They may instead choose to spend the Dragogol during a mystery to automatically pass any test to purchase equipment or to get aid within the Game Master's discretion. No buying cannons or towns.
Wait a minute.
But don't we get a penalty or anything for it?
We'll get to that. What were you asking, Quinn?
I mean, I'm looking at a bunch of failed dice rolls, and we learn exactly what the coins do. That seems suspicious as hell.
Don't worry about it. Last but not least, a character could choose to spend the Dragogol on their headquarters, automatically gaining development points.
What?
Development points effectively work like XP for your headquarters. So they let you get new things and get benefits in between mysteries. Now, all that said, there is a risk when these coins are used by a human. There is a chance that the user becomes the subject of a Vasan's obsession.
Sounds hot.
So, use them.
I'm kidding. Please cut that out.
Nope, that's in.
God damn it.
So, use them at your own discretion. Now, again, these are not something you have yet.
Okay. I was about to ask how many of these pieces we have. We don't know that yet.
I will let you know. Each of you would be able to get this item at the end of the mystery as payment.
Right, because that's what Jan found, right?
Payment, right.
And that's what he spent to make his way from Sweden all the way to Seattle, and basically lived it up going cross country. You also do all recall none of his supernatural troubles happened on the journey. They only occurred out
when
here.
He got on the boat. Huh. Interesting.
All right, now armed with this knowledge, what will you all do?
Well, we need to... Did we decide what our tactic was going to be? Or are we just going to go talk to the guys on the boat, or... And try to butter them up a little bit and then see if we can get any information, or...
Well, can we do additional research now knowing what these coins are? Can we look into that specifically? If there's any... where would somebody go to... where are these typically found? How are they... I mean, I don't know the answers to that, but is that something that we can research?
So from Jan's story, he found them buried under a stump.
Well, so does it say which Vasan will become obsessed with the user?
Nope.
Okay, well, so...
Just a Vasan.
Caelan says, well, this, I think, would explain what happened, is that one of the times they spent their money, they drew the attention of a Vasan that is now causing trouble for them. And either the Vasan was happy to watch for a while before their obsession grew, or perhaps the Vasan only started paying attention to Jan once he started spending money here.
Right. I mean, I guess we should just go out, at least just go out to the docks and then reevaluate, see if we see anything interesting when we get down there, and then, decide where to go from there, right?
Sounds good to me.
To our knowledge, has the crewman that had his arm broken, has he been replaced? Or are they a man short right now?
You are unsure.
Okay.
That
might be something we can try to leverage.
Yeah.
Kind of nod towards Caelan. You're probably the most... I mean, I'm pretty. You have bigger muscles than I do. And that's probably what they're going to need on a boat. How would you feel about that?
I've always wanted to try my hand at sailing. That sounds fun.
Do you think they will give you a job when you don't know anything about sailing already? Well, I suppose if they are a man down, perhaps they would.
Strong back.
I have no idea. We could ask.
I mean, case in point, they did hire Jan.
Very true.
I don't suppose
Okay.
they need entertainment on these ships, do they? I guess I could ask as well.
Now, I did want to clarify, these are not deep sea fishermen.
Yes, I remember that as well. I'm thinking
Yep.
people who have been out to sea for a while and they were out for like an hour.
I mean, it was a couple hours.
I do remember that.
Sometimes even like a day. So it's clearly rough times. They've definitely got to see some ladies of easy persuasion.
Mm-hmm. Got to find that rhythm. I get it.
We're going to get flagged as an explicit podcast, aren't we? That silence means yes. All right, so it sounds like the plan is to head down to the docks, check things out, and then maybe have Caelan volunteer as a sailor?
Yeah.
All right.
Think so. And if you want, feel free to invite them over to Madame Lou's.
What I don't understand about that is I don't have money. So I can tell them that there is a brothel, but they already know that.
Yeah, but you have us.
So you're offering to pay for an entire ship full of sailors to have a good time?
No, but we will be at the brothel to back you up when, your new buddies from the ship show up, and, we will spot you to buy a couple drinks for them and stuff like that.
It's not as if this is the first time I've, had to get you a discount.
I don't understand what the draw is. Like, come with me to a brothel. I won't pay for anything, but there might be some people there who buy you a couple drinks.
I mean, free drinking is free drinking.
Fair.
Yeah, just invite them for drinks and fun.
Yeah, and
you know what I could go for? A roll in the hay. You guys want to come along?
This isn't weird at all for any of us.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
Fantastic. All right. You make your way through the streets of Ballard, heading down for the docks. Moored there is the Fiskesøker. It is a sturdy-looking fishing vessel. The smell of fresh paint and pitch comes from the ship, and the fishermen call out to one another as they attend jobs. Everything is kept very neatly organized. But you notice that the sails are currently being lowered down to the deck. You spot a large tear that's been ripped into them, which is likely why the Fiskesøker isn't out on the Puget Sound right now.
Yikes.
As the sails drop, you can't help but notice the ship's mast is a beautiful red cedar, made from a different wood than the rest of the vessel. A barrel-chested blonde man with a beautiful beard woven into elaborate braids, points, and orders repairs.
I have a crush now.
While a
I know,
heavy-set
me
man,
too.
while a heavy-set man in coveralls follows after him, speaking to sailors and pointing at nets and fishing lines in a sharp, snapping tone. What do you all do?
I turn to my comrades and say, like, oh, should I go rush up there?
Well, let us wait a moment to observe a little bit and see if we can make any get any information before you enact your plan. Does that make sense?
No, but I can wait.
Okay, you go ahead and we will observe.
Okay, sounds good. I jog on up to the ship.
Fantastic.
You just want to go flirt with that guy with the freaking sick ass beard.
Shut up.
Looking at the guy that you indicated there, this guy looks in charge? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one with that beautifully woven beard looks like he is running the show.
That's probably the captain there, Jakob. Just go tell him you heard somebody got hurt and see if you can maybe get the job, I guess.
I'm on it. I go do that.
All right. You walk over. A couple of the crewmen kind of wave to you as you're hopping up.
Well, I'm not going to board the ship. I'm going to announce myself.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you were just going right up the gangplank.
No.
Smart.
You said you were very gung-ho. I wanted to check.
Yeah. No, like I jog up to the ship, but not onto the ship.
Ah, fair.
Yep.
Uh,
And
so
I'll take off my hat and hold it in my hands and say, "Oh, excuse me, Captain."
the blonde man pauses with some of his direction and steps over to the rail. Yeah,
To talk around the docks is that you're down a man. Any chance you're hiring?
we could always use some strong hands here.
Oh, I have strong hands. That I do.
He runs a hand through this elaborately woven beard of his. Have you worked on a boat before? Had much experience pulling line?
No, sir. Just a hard worker and a quick learner.
Well, we could always use more people who are both of those. Feel free to come on up. I'll introduce you to my first mate and show you around.
Oh, excellent. Caelan go ahead and jogs up and says, "Oh, and I've got a bit of Irish blood in me, or I've got a lot of Irish blood in me. I'm Irish, so I have quite a bit of good luck too."
Quinn, make an observation roll.
Okay. 1 success on 3 dice.
Okay. As you announce that you're bringing a lot of good luck along with you, you notice a lot of the crew suddenly starts kind of looking back and forth. And then almost all of them start looking over at Jan, who's on the other side of the ship, just like tying up some lines and straightening up some fishing gear.
I thought that might be the case, and I pretend not to notice.
Excellent. Captain Norland leads you over to his first mate. He is a thick, pear-shaped man named Olaf Borson. He has a very bushy gray beard, is wearing coveralls, and has a strong smell of pipe smoke and tobacco about him. So you don't have any experience sailing or fishing, is it?
No, not at all. But like I told the captain, I'm a quick learner. Just point me at what you need doing, and I'll do it.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Make a manipulation test.
Okay. Can I get a bonus for mentioning good luck?
Not in this particular instance.
Okay. 1 success on 3 dice.
Okay. After a moment or two, Olaf is kind of tapping his nose. He's puffing away at a pipe. Yes. What you working over on the lines? Go talk to Jan over there.
Aye.
He's one of our newest. He'll walk you through.
I'm on it. And Caelan's gonna quickly make his way over to Jan, and before Jan can say anything, he's gonna introduce himself as if this is the first time they're meeting.
Okay, excellent.
Hi there, my name's Caelan. The first mate just said I'm to help you with some lines.
Oh, hello. I am Jan. We have definitely not met previously.
That is true.
Yes, excellent. I'm going to help you do the fishing setup.
Brilliant, thank you.
He nods really enthusiastically, like he is sure this is working perfect.
Yeah, I give him a little wink.
Marvelous. So, you are able to kind of ease in amongst the crew. You also learn one very important thing. Everybody on the boat is looking forward to the end of the day because they are going to be visiting the Brunswick this evening.
What's the Brunswick?
The Brunswick is one of the most popular bars here in Ballard, and they are going to be getting drunk on beer and aquavit all evening.
Cool.
It is basically the local bar amongst the fishermen, although Ballard has a lot of options for bars. But This is sort of like the really nice one.
But it's for fish. It's where the fishermen go, and it's a really nice one.
Well, as far as they're concerned.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, so that'll be a chance for Caelan to kind of lay the seeds for this plan.
Mhm.
Is it sorry, out of character? Is it typical for this sort of thing to be paid at the end of the day?
This would probably be at the end of the week.
Okay, but
Since right now they're not actually going to be able to sail today since they're doing repairs.
oh, okay. So the sailors are going to go there without having been paid today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, shoot. I was going to say something about spending my first paycheck buying a drink for them or something, but okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say you would need a paycheck for that.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to go make an excuse to stand by the rail near where he knows his companions are waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say very loudly, "Oh, aquavit, you say? I've never had aquavit, but I hear they have really great aquavit at what's
The Brunswick.
no, Julian.
No,
Oh, sorry.
Julian's place.
Madame Lou's Sporting House.
Oh yeah, I hear they have great aquavit at Madame Lou's Sporting House.
Now, do you remember that is going to be in Seattle, so they would have to take boats over there.
Oh, right. Oh, wait.
No bridges.
Where
Yep.
are we?
You're in Ballard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
we can. Yeah, maybe we can do the. Let's just go with the Brunswick for
Okay.
now,
All right.
and we'll try
If it's not going to fly, don't force it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the first part where I go to the edge and I say, "Oh, the Brunswick. Yeah, that sounds great. Is it all right if I join you all?"
They are enthusiastic to have you there.
Brilliant. Okay. So that was me trying to clue in the other two. That's where we were going.
Now, can I get a vigilance test from Julian and Sophie?
get a witch test. Sorry?
Vigilance.
That is 0 successes on 3 dice for Julian.
Hey, 1 success on 7 dice.
So Julian is kind of swept up in everything. There's a lot of activity on the docks. There are people coming, people going. There are people who are yelling, trying to get your attention. However, Aaron, Sophie manages to spot aboard the Fiskesøker that the first mate is kind of hovering around Caelan. He's always sort of lurking somewhere and seems to be kind of watching him.
I don't get a chance to notice that.
You were busy talking to the crew.
Okay.
So you weren't able to kind of see things from the perspective that they were down on the dock.
Okay.
I don't really have any way to. I mean, I'll tell Julian this, like, keep an eye on that guy. But I don't really have any way to notify Caelan. So I guess I'll just try to. How long is he going to be here before?
He'll probably be able to get a break around lunch, and then be heading out in the evening.
Okay. Is there a place that Julian and I can sort of hang out, like a cafe or something, and just where we might be able even to see the boat? That would be useful.
It's Seattle, right? There's got to be at least 3 Starbucks within walking distance here.
Right.
Tragically,
exactly.
This is before Starbucks has been invented, and Ballard isn't technically Seattle.
Curses.
But there are a few spots that you can stop along the docks. There are fishmongers who are selling their wares. There are various places selling cold drinks, or as cold as they can get. So there are places selling some beers and things like that. So there's a few options around.
So, yeah, I think we should just, kind of hang about inconspicuously, I would say, until Caelan can take a break, and then, we'll catch his attention and, kind of regroup with him, like in an alley or something, maybe.
Yeah, Julian, dressed to the nines and holding his violin, pouts when you mention inconspicuous, but
Oh,
yeah,
I
all
know that's not
right.
your forte.
It
It's
really
definitely not your
isn't.
strong suit.
No, it's not. But okay, I understand. Understated is there's a time and place, I suppose.
You will get your chance tonight, probably.
Excuse me, barman, can I get a mimosa?
What? So, Caelan, you are given a little bit of a tour of the ship. It is a 60-foot long sailing ship, and you can very quickly tell that it has been lovingly cared for. The decks are clean, everything is well painted, all the lines are kept tightly wrapped, all of the fishing nets are mended, there are hooks and tools and barrels of fresh water around. Like, this is a ship that has clearly gotten a lot of love. You also notice something a little bit odd. That mast is completely different than everything else on the boat. It is made out of red cedar, and it actually has what looks like some rough cut saw marks at the base where it's been attached to the Fiskesøker.
Interesting. Okay. I ask about that.
Who do you ask? One of the crewmen, Olaf, or the captain?
So I'm not going to like take a break to
Mhm.
go bother my
Well,
superiors. So I'm
I
just
mean, it's
gonna.
not a big ship, though, so it's something that you could just ask in passing as people are walking around.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Caelan's just going to ask, and whoever's nearby and can answer can do so. Just like, oh, hey, that's strange. I noticed the mast is quite different than the rest of the ship.
All right. You happen to ask that as Olaf is hovering around. He puffs on his pipe a few times. That happens to be one of our luckiest days. We got in a bad wreck. Got caught out in a storm. And unfortunately, our mast took some bad damage. Well, we were looking in a bad way. We were far out, empty coastline, no mast, no sail, and what do we see out in the fog? But an old wreck. Another fishing boat. Captain spotted it. Said it was the Fiskesøker. We go take a look, and wouldn't you know, the mast, perfect. Pristine shape. This beautiful red cedar. Captain says it's the luckiest find he's ever made. So, we managed to get it off their ship, get it onto ours, make it home in time for dinner.
Wow, that is incredibly lucky. About how long ago was that?
Oh, that was just a little over a month, I think.
Oh, wow, so recent. I don't have anything else to say. I go back to work.
Olaf does kind of like pull you aside for one moment. I do want to warn you. And he stops puffing on his pipe for just a minute and pulls out a little sachet of tobacco and kind of tucks it into his upper lip and begins kind of like sucking on that.
Yeah.
As you're working here, keep a weather eye. You see over in the shadows, right past that netting, and he points for you. And you look for a second, and you spot a brindled, raggedy-ass tomcat. That right there is Tumble Tom.
Oh!
Do not pet Tumble Tom. He will bite the shit out of you.
Oh, great. Thank you for the warning.
Yep. I'm gonna say, never seen a rat on this boat. He taps the stem of his pipe to his nose. But I have seen a man with 9 fingers.
Caelan laughs at that.
He looks dead-ass serious.
I see. That literally happened. Good to know.
And then Olaf kind of like, he isn't wearing a hat, but goes to like tip the brim of it, fumbles for a second, and just touches the 2 fingers to his brow, and then heads off back about his business.
Okay.
Now, Quinn, at this point, could I get a vigilance test from you?
Yeah. 0 success on 4 dice.
Excellent. You notice anything weird?
Oh, cool.
Nothing out of the ordinary happening.
Brilliant.
Not that there was anything to notice in the first place. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. I go back to doing ship things.
As you are working, you are just about getting towards your lunch. There are a few of the crew getting ready. There are a couple of folks talking about drinks tonight at the Brunswick. When you hear a sudden snap of a line breaking, and look up just in time to see one of the boom masts come swinging right at you. Would you like to try to dodge?
Yeah.
I figured yes, but I wanted to check. You're unpredictable.
Just take it. I'm super impressed.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Right.
This is how you fishermen. You just grab it.
Yeah.
So you may roll agility.
Okay. 1 success on 6 dice.
There you
Right.
go.
So you jump backwards, and the Caelan wears a hat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, his hat gets knocked off.
Oh,
It was that close.
damn. My hat!
But it flutters lightly down to the deck, and you are okay. The boom kind of slows as it passes and kind of waves a little bit.
Quick thinking. I would like to look up at where it came from to see if I can spot like a Vasen that's invisible to other people.
Sure. Make for me a vigilance test.
Okay. 1 success on 4 dice.
Aha. So you look up into the rigging, up into the area where the mast is. You're searching around. You don't see any sign of a Vasen.
Okay.
But what you do see is, of all things, a bird has made a nest on the top of the mast.
Oh. That's weird.
It is a giant white and gray bird.
Oh God, isn't it albatross?
Yeah, I wonder
Now,
about that too.
You do not have much knowledge of birds or avian creatures, but if you asked around, you're pretty sure that's an albatross.
Okay. Yeah, so what happens immediately in the aftermath of this tragic event?
The crew rush over to make sure you're okay. Olaf immediately begins yelling about who tied off that line. And sure enough, it's Jan.
Oh, no.
Oh, buddy.
And Olaf just starts chewing him out. So he's just kind of hunkering down, sinking. And the first mate is just digging into him.
Are we seeing any of this?
From where you are, you just heard that snap. You looked up just in time to see the boom swing down and Caelan just like leap barely out of the way.
Okay. Caelan makes a little joke about his Irish luck. He wasn't hurt by this, but it's certainly strange that this happened. He thinks, and then he kind of goes back to what he was doing and kind of helps them sort out whatever needs to be sorted out. And then later, once things have quieted down a bit, he'll ask about the bird.
Before too much later goes by, then Julian will turn over to Sophie as we've just witnessed this thing happen, because we saw Caelan. We saw him actually dodge out of the way. Yeah.
It was a near thing.
Right. Whoa. Should we go check on him? I mean, we could just say we were in the area and we saw what happened there, and we're friends of his. We can just walk on up and Make sure he's all right.
Yes. Yes, let's do that. That caused me a great fright. Let's go and check on him.
All right. Yeah, let's go. So yeah, I think we're gonna head over to the ship and kind of as Quinn was describing earlier, just kind of jog on up to it if Sophie is able to keep up. That is.
Oh, definitely.
Hey,
as long as she's
I
not
have-
reading at the time.
Yeah,
got it.
I've left my book back at the library. It's fine.
Got it. Then yeah, we'll just kind of jog on up and until we get a little closer, and I'll call out, "Whoa, hey, Caelan, you all right?"
Caelan is going to look up in horror and then rush over to the side and go, "Oh, friends, what a coincidence to see you here. Yes, I'm fine. I'm working. Can you come back later?"
Oh, sorry, we were just in the area and we saw what happened. So we just wanted to just check and make sure you were okay.
Yeah,
I
just
will
doing dandy.
Give my best salute to the blonde bearded, elegantly woven bearded captain.
Mm-hmm.
Permission to come aboard and check on our friend there. That looked
my
like quite the hazard.
God.
Oh, he's shy.
The Captain Norland kind of nods his head to you, and then turns. "Are you all right?" That wasn't his voice at all. "Are you all right, Caelan?"
Oh, yes, just knocked off my cap is all. I'm doing just fine. I guess my friends here are a little overprotective.
You know, I don't feel like this would be in character for Julian, but just the way that this is being narrated, I kind of want to pick up the hat, and do the whole mom thing where I kind of like spit on it a little bit and then like use it to wipe off your face.
This is not out of character. You did clean his face when you first met him.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what?
sunbrand.
I do that.
No, I try to stop you. I'm like, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Mom, I'm with my friends. Stop!
And so Sophie is like dusting you off, like going around and making sure that you don't have any like cuts or scrapes or anything. Like,
Oh my God, no, I swear I'm fine. Please
I
leave.
really hope they cut the edges off your sandwich just the way you like it. Caelan, you forgot your lunch.
I was literally
I cut it on the diagonals just like you like it, honey.
I was gonna ask before we started walking down there, is there any way that I would have something on me that I could give to him and be like, "Oh, you forgot this"?
It's your dignity.
But I don't
You
know.
forgot this.
Yeah, exactly. And my job, probably. Like, they're probably not great with like the newbie having a bunch of friends show up and interrupt the workday.
I mean, in fairness, a giant swinging boom has already somewhat interrupted the workday, as had random holes being torn in the
Right.
sails.
Yeah.
So the captain seems still in relatively good spirits. At this point, all of you notice that Olaf is kind of eyeing Caelan a little bit suspiciously.
Yeah, no shit.
Since the boom, not since your friends ran up to check on you.
Oh, okay.
I'm very subtle.
That is the word we all use for you.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. I was told to be incognito.
Yeah, inconspicuous, running up and yelling your friend's name.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be
Don't
suspicious.
Oh my God.
We're a good team.
Yeah, no, I'll just I'll turn to the captain again, and well, I'm glad he's okay. Does this sort of thing happen a lot around your ship? What's going? We were just going down getting our morning ales, and heard the snap. My God, what happened? What's going on this ship? It's a good friend of mine. He could have been killed.
Oh my God.
Captain Norland kind of furrows his brow a little bit at this. There is nothing going on my ship. Sometimes lines snap. It's fine.
Yes,
He
it's
is fine.
I'm fine. I'm not trying to interrupt the captain. I'm trying to back him up.
Mm-hmm.
I turn back to Caelan. All right, honey.
Oh my God. Thank you for your concern and your visit. Goodbye.
I
I'm
think
trying.
he's fine, Julian. Let's go. Let us leave him alone to his little job.
It's gotten to the point that Caelan is trying to physically push you off of the ship.
Before you do, Phoenix, can I
Hey,
get
what's that thing over there?
Can I get an observation check from you?
Observation. I can do that.
Remember, observation is the noticing things about people check. But
Wow.
not for you.
Yeah, that is 0 successes on 7 dice as Sophie and I continue our run of hot dice rolls tonight.
Yep.
Do you want to push that?
Let's see. That would be
Can I give him advantage?
Actually, Sophie, if you wanted to do an observation check, I'd let you do one as well. Same for you, Caelan. The three of you are all part of this conversation.
I'm just going to say, I'm the specialist here, and I'm going to be the only one who fails this,
Right.
aren't I?
Right. 1 success on 6 dice.
And
Yep. Uh-huh.
One
marvelous.
success on 3
Wow.
dice.
Wow.
So
I'm
Julian,
still just distracted by that schmutz on your face that I'm
you are
trying to
too
wipe off.
concerned about Caelan to notice the effect your comment had. But in addition to his brows furrowing, you noticed that Captain Norland looked a little uncomfortable when you asked what is going on here.
Yeah, it's almost as if this guy's in charge of a bunch of superstitious sailors.
Well,
Maybe-
perhaps he has a reason to think that the issues are not necessarily Jan's fault and they have some other source, which means maybe it's not only Jan's fault. I don't know. There could be other possibilities.
All right, so we can skip ahead a bit. Caelan very, very apologetically ushers the two of you off the boat that he is trying to work on.
Yeah, he's gonna work extra hard
Mm-hmm.
now because he's worried that was super weird for everyone.
And just you. Make a manipulation check for me to see how much you can put everyone at ease.
Okay. Nope. 0 successes on 3 dice.
You do your best, but the mood of the crew has soured a bit. Where people were kind of joking, they were a little lighthearted before. It's definitely taken a little bit of a oh no kind of turn. You hear a couple of people just barely murmuring oh, he's going to wind up like Harold. I bet he's going to be over at the Salmon Bay Church before long.
Okay. Are they trying to do that quietly, or can I ask who is Harold?
You think that they were just kind of talking amongst themselves, but when you ask, they say well, Harold was another sailor on the ship. And they kind of give a little bit of a side eye at Jan.
Was?
He got badly hurt.
Oh, no.
A boom fell just like what happened to you, but he wasn't so lucky. His arm got real bad broke.
Oh,
Captain
no.
got him to the pharmacist, but he's healing up over at the church. Sometimes they take in mill workers or sailors who are part of the congregation.
Well, as you said, he's not as lucky as I am, so I'm sure I'll be fine.
They kind of nod, but their hearts aren't in it, and they're like, oh, this motherfucker's gonna die.
Great.
We're fucked. Alright, so the rest of your shift is uneventful, though.
Okay.
No more catastrophes, nothing else going on. And you are able to meet up with Sophie and Julian during a break for lunch.
Okay. Okay. So.
Hey, you're okay, man? Yeah.
Yes.
That was some
fine.
shit.
Yeah, but I dodged it. Why did you come? I'm worried that, I'm not going to be able to keep this job if I keep
Mom and
getting
Dad, you're going to blow my cover.
Yeah, exactly. With that
The
weird guy in
point
the
was
corner.
never for you to keep the job, Caelan.
Well,
I'm sorry. Were you? Was this a career choice of yours I didn't know about? I should be supporting you in this.
I thought I would keep the job until the mystery is solved.
Oh, that
If
could be.
if that's your choice, then that's fine. But I'm sure you could, if you set your mind to it. I know you could hold this one down.
Swerve, this is a fishing podcast now. You thought it was horror and the supernatural? No, we're just going salmon fishing.
Yeah. Caelan just like, he like pinches the bridge of his nose like he has a headache. No, this isn't a career choice. I thought that me having access to the ship would be helpful during our investigation, but I don't necessarily need to keep it after this mission is over. I think it's awfully suspicious that the new guy who's been asking questions around the ship just so happens to have two other friends that show up in the middle of his shift.
Oh, don't worry about it. I guarantee you the captain found me adorable.
Yes, you are very adorable,
See?
Julian. But we certainly won't bother you anymore. It's just it was very shocking seeing that happen, and we also of course wanted to get a better look at what was going on up there. The first mate seems to have his eye specifically on you for some reason, so do watch out for him.
Okay. Thank you. That's good to know. But now our cover is blown. There's no way that you could come up with your own. You couldn't like show up and say, "Hey, we're from the library, and we would want to investigate the ship now," because now they know that you're friends with me, and that'll blow my cover. I'm just saying, now things are way more complicated.
That is a good point. He makes a good point, Julian. That is a good point.
It's fine. ¿Por qué no los dos? We can be both.
Okay, fine. I was also going to tell you that we're going to this bar named
the Brunswick.
The Brunswick tonight, and I thought, since I don't have any money, that maybe you two could show up and buy some drinks for them. But that'll seem awfully suspicious now.
Suspicious to buy drinks from the crew that made sure you were okay?
Yeah, well, I suppose we could work it. I'm just not sure why you would be there.
Because
perhaps
we're your friends and you invited us?
Perhaps we need some sort of pretext to mix in these circles, aside from just you,
Why don't... okay, how about this? Julian, could you go there early and see if you can offer to put on a performance tonight?
Oh, that is a good idea.
And then when I arrive, I'll act surprised. And you will be busy doing your show, and so you won't immediately call out to me and reaffirm this connection that we have.
I mean, I'd be surprised to find myself in that establishment too, but I mean...
Oh! Wow. That,
but
I mean it's a solid plan.
I mean, what tavern keeper, what business owner wouldn't want to have me performing there?
Precisely.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And
just hope Madame Lou is okay. It doesn't really like me, given a discount to the competition. There we go. Freelancing is a much better word.
Yes. I'm sure she'll be understanding that it was under the auspices of your work with the library and not, you looking for work elsewhere.
Oh, and
actually,
as ever,
real quick, to that point, I'm going to ask the GM. We haven't really talked about it specifically. I mean, is that something that Lou would know? Like, again, how...
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Sure, people don't necessarily know about Vasen, but as far as like the library, is that something that people know about? Like, they may not know obviously the specifics of what we do there, but is the library
Do they
known
know
about?
that we're members of it and that, yeah.
So it is not super common knowledge in Seattle. It's much
Mhm.
more commonly known about in Ballard.
Okay.
In Ballard, you can kind of think of it like the I know a guy who knows a guy who works there.
Okay.
So it's the like, you got something weird going on? You, you've had some stuff that you just can't explain? All right, listen, I'm never going to
Who you
talk
gonna
about this
call?
again, but here's who you talk to. So that kind of like acknowledgement of something outside of the scope of the natural world while still kind of having blinders on and pretending it's not there.
Okay.
Some people in Seattle do know about the library. They know it as a little bit more of kind of an esoteric organization. Think kind of like the Masons or sort of like a slightly public secret society.
Mhm.
But with what you know about Madame Lou, she very well might know about more details on the library. She certainly knows that you work there.
Okay. She's got her fingers in a lot of pies, so to speak,
Yes.
if you know what I mean.
Sorry.
And I do.
That costs extra, by the way, but she gets a discount since she's the madam.
I should only be so lucky.
And Quinn.
Yeah.
Does Caelan mention the albatross?
Yes. Did you get a chance to ask around about that?
Yeah, he could definitely ask around about that on his shift. The sailors believe that it is incredibly bad luck to bring any harm to an albatross, so they will not chase it off, and they will not interact with it in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. When did it show up?
They're not quite certain, but they think it must have been shortly after they got the new mast.
Okay.
And it just made a nest up there.
Okay. Yeah, I tell them about that.
Given your background as an academic, Aaron, would you like to make a learning test?
Why, yes, I would. Thank you for asking. Hey, look, I can get successes. That's 2 successes on 8 dice.
Nice. You are able to successfully identify this bird. This is not just an albatross. This is a northern Pacific albatross.
Ho, ho, ho.
And you know this is actually highly strange. These birds can be found as far north as Hawaii, but would be exceptionally rare in the Pacific Northwest.
Did you mean as far south?
No.
As far north? Oh,
Yeah.
Hawaii is the farthest north that they go.
Uh-huh. So finding one in the Pacific Northwest is unusual.
Yeah, apparently that mast is new as well. Apparently, during a storm, they lost theirs, but came across this wreck with that mast on it. So they took the mast and were able to sail back. And shortly thereafter, the albatross made its nest up there.
Do I know anything about, like, red cedar or basically about like red cedar, any properties, like any supernatural properties of red cedar, or anything about
Nothing really jumps to mind for you. It's not a necessarily like supernatural wood like a rowan wood or an ash wood.
right?
It's very, very common. It's a strong and resilient wood, but easy to carve into. So it's used for tons of stuff. Definitely something Sophie would see all over the Pacific Northwest.
Right. Okay. Did they know when they picked up this, they said it was a wreck? Did they know how long it had been? Where was it, and how long had it been broken up? Was it a recent wreck, or
They didn't say. I'll try and get some more information if I can, subtly.
Yes, we will try not to interrupt you this time.
Well, you mentioned that it was from, I think I heard you say that it was from the Locksager
Oh, right.
that they pulled it from.
Oh, yeah. Quinn forgot about that bit.
But Caelan remembered.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it was from a ship called the Laxjäger.
I'm sure we could find information about that in the paper somewhere, right?
Oh, good idea.
It sounds like you two have something to do now.
Yes, we will go off and make our way to
I-
check on that instead.
Meanwhile, like
pull
Caelan, too cool for school, Tegan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I pull your hat off once more and again try to wipe away some of the schmutz on your face.
It's on there
Have a good
permanently.
time with your new friends. I think it might be on there permanently. You really should bathe more, but we'll talk about that another time.
Okay, great. Thanks. Oh, before you go, would you buy me something for lunch? I'm working really hard out there.
I will give him a little bit of money too.
Hell yeah.
Please don't be seen with me, but I'll take some money.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The
I just
true
turned to
heart
Soph-
of friendship.
I turned to Sophie. Sophie, if you just give him the money, he's just going to have fun, Caelan.
I can't help it. He's just so cute and darling.
Yes. Remember, cocaine isn't filling. Bye.
That's mean.
All right, so Caelan, you are able to return to the Fiskesøker. It is definitely a slightly more dour mood in the afternoon. The crew is still working hard. They're still kind of mending stuff around the boat. At this point, everybody knows they're not going to go out fishing today. So the captain is not going to make money. So their wages are not going to be looking good at the end of the week.
Yep.
They are hoping to be able to get all this work done so they can go out tomorrow, but they'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And there's a lot more quiet grumbling than was happening this morning.
I'm gonna try and keep an eye on the first mate, who's been keeping an eye on me, just to see if I can figure out some sort of like pattern for like or reason why he might be watching me, other than I'm the new guy.
Do you talk to any of the other sailors about it?
No, I don't think I would.
Okay.
I'm suspecting that maybe I should, but I don't think Caelan would.
No, that's all right. So you definitely catch him watching you a few times. And you notice anytime you are chatting with the other sailors, he's always like hovering.
Oh, okay.
He also is pulling this same kind of routine with Jan. Anytime Jan strikes up a conversation, he's like 5 feet away, just kind of like, what are you talking about? What's going on? What's happening here? You get very strong vice principal energy from this man.
Okay.
Oh.
Which I feel is a very definite character choice on his part.
Yep.
Rancid vibes.
Shots fired at vice principals everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he always seems to be around. He's always listening. He's always making a nuisance of himself. Basically, if you wanted to do anything on this boat without him like being in your business, you would need to make a stealth check.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to, but now I'm kind of tempted because I'm good at stealth.
What is the thing that you want to do that you don't want him noticing?
Here we go.
Making a stealth check.
So just like disappearing on the shift where he can't see you?
Oh, actually, that's a good idea. Like, I'm going to try and do it subtly just to see how he reacts, like, when I show back up.
Mm-hmm. All right, make your stealth check.
Okay. 1 success on 6 dice.
Okay. 1 success on 2 dice. So despite your best efforts, you keep finding like little corners to hide in. You at one point even disappear below decks, where there's a bunch of crates, there's a bunch of fishing hooks. Like, he's right at the top of the stairs, just keeping an eye on you.
Okay.
Everywhere you go, this man is there, hovering.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Okay.
Always feel like
Somebody's
somebody's watching me.
Can't get no privacy.
Okay. That's basically everything I wanted to do on the ship.
Marvelous. For our other folks, what are you doing?
So, yeah, I think your idea was a good one. Maybe we should go sure. Well, the library might actually have something, but it's probably better to start with like the new is there a newspaper office or would it be in
Oh yeah,
Seattle?
no. Ballard. Remember, Ballard is its own independent town. So they do have their own newspaper.
Okay. So then let's go ask them at the newspaper about just ask them about that ship if they have any information on what happened to the ship.
Yeah, we were wanting to just see when that happened.
Give me one quick second.
Waiting for them to be like, it disappeared 100 years ago.
Now, keep in mind, Seattle was only founded about 50 years ago.
I know, I'm being facetious.
And yet, 100 years ago.
Fascinating. So, there is a news service who brings newspapers in from Seattle, but there is not an official newspaper just yet.
Well, would whoever runs the news service, would they be up on the...
Is there not our library, but is there just a library?
There is not at this time.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You suspect that the best plan here would be just to ask around the docks, given that it's a boat.
That makes sense. Sure.
You might also ask the dockmaster or something, see if they keep records of ships that disappear, something like that.
Right. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, and there is a harbor master who can definitely help provide records. So I won't even make you do a roll for that one.
Cool.
I did like your idea for the newspaper, though, but I had to see if there was one that existed at the time. And it turns out Ballard's first newspaper was made in 1890.
Oh, so close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we're going by strict timelines, I mentioned Julian being Filipino-American. I mean, yeah, because the first Filipino, I remember looking it up, the first Filipino immigrants weren't even there at this time. So, hey, it's fine.
Don't worry about it.
We're rewriting history.
Exactly. It's called historical fiction.
It's fine.
So you talk to the harbor master, who does have detailed records. And after a little looking, is able to find the Laxejäger, which means the salmon hunter. And that boat actually ran aground in the northwest side of Elliott Bay. It was written off as an insurance loss and was abandoned. And that happened about 2 years ago.
So, do you not find it interesting that before I say this, it was written off as an insurance loss. Mm-hmm. Where it was wrecked, would they not have salvaged?
In this instance, had they done so, the harbor master is able to inform you that had anything been brought back, the insurance would have been a smaller payout. So it kind of seems like it was an insurance scam of, oh no, my boat sank.
Could you salvage any of it? Nope, not even a little bit.
No, it's totally gone. I'm going to need that whole payout.
That's 100% loss, buddy. Sorry about that.
Classic Seattle.
So, sorry, maybe I'm having a hard time visualizing something. Is this where? Sorry, how do I describe this? Is this it is a wreck, or it is like a shipwreck that has sunk? What am I visualizing here for this thing?
So think of it as a ship that crashed on some rocks.
Okay.
In the wilder, undeveloped corners of Elliott Bay. So where there's no towns, there's no cities, the ship basically ran aground.
Okay, so it didn't sink.
Mm-hmm.
So Okay, because that's what was weirding me out, was this idea that it's 2 years undersea and the mast is in pristine condition.
No, like crashed on some rocks.
Got it. That makes more sense. Thank you.
All right. Quinn, is there anything else you want to do while you're on the boat?
No. Well, can I make a best friend?
You have one. His name is Jan.
I mean, someone else.
Actually, no, I take that back. You have one. His name is Julian.
You got a little schmutz. I'm just trying to help you.
That was an amazing
And
Filipino
here I thought
accent.
I was
loved
the
it.
adopted mom. It's definitely Julian, yeah.
No, I mean, I want to make a new best friend so that I have like a
work friend.
Yeah, a confidant with whom I can discuss these matters.
I will say yes, but you'll have to make a manipulation test to do so. The folks on the ship are definitely a little gun shy at the moment.
Okay.
Especially after another accident, they are feeling nervous.
Can I instead use inspiration and my liquor? The liquor doesn't give a +1 though, does it?
I think it gives a bonus to manipulation.
It gives so its bonus is +1.
Inspire with alcohol.
Yeah.
Yep. It does give a bonus though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a +1 bonus.
Okay. So the bonus is listed separately from its effect. So I would imagine that we could actually use the bonus on anything.
Within reason.
Within reason, yeah. So, I mean, I'll just make a manipulation check, and if you let me use the liquor, then I'll get a +1.
Well, actually, liquor, it says inspire with alcohol. Fine wines, it says inspire and manipulate with alcohol. So I think it is going to be inspiration. But I'll let you make an inspiration check instead.
Okay. Well, it's the same roll.
This time.
Oops.
So how many successes did you get?
0 on 4 dice.
Nice. Do you want to push that roll?
No, I'll pass. I'll just be sad.
You fit in great with the crew. So again, it's not that they are not friendly to you.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit more of a sense of reserve, a sense of
they don't want to,
even a little bit of defeatism.
They don't want to name the sick puppy that might die.
Kind of accurate.
Ouch.
And there is also a lot of blame that's starting to be thrown around on whose fault is this. You hear like at least one person say like, even the luck of the Irish wasn't enough. So there is clearly a lot that's weighing down on these sailors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm done.
All right. Phoenix, were you going to follow through that plan and head over to the Brunswick a little bit earlier and see if you can get some music going?
Yes. Yes.
Not as an okay.
I guess. No, I guess where I'm going, because I want to make sure that I'm supporting our plan, so I too will go out of character. Why is it that I'm trying to go undercover and we're not just showing up?
I don't know.
I will play along. I Phoenix don't get it, so I just want to make sure I understand what I'm trying to do.
So I think it's really suspicious that you guys showed up. And if you just showed up again, asking questions again about the ship, that I worry that people will start to suspect that you're trying to, I don't know, investigate things. Whereas if you just happen to be there and playing your fiddle, then, that gives you a reason to be there, like completely separate from Caelan.
Okay.
So, I mean,
given that Julian has never played his fiddle there before, it's going to be suspicious either way.
Well, but the sailors don't know that, do they? Oh, that's their regular spot.
That's their frequent hangout.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we established that we were your friends, so I don't think that it's too suspicious if we just show up.
Okay.
So
you're probably fine.
So yeah, okay. So I guess we'll skip that, especially now that we've figured out that this is their haunt. So yeah, that would be weird if I just suddenly showed up there.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I think we'll probably just go on in and meet up with our friend Caelan.
Perfect.
I will say that even though Sophie is a modest landowner at this point, like she knows how to mix with, based on where she grew up and stuff, she knows how to mix with either with different parts
I was
of the
about to
city,
say, she can work on either side of the deadline and get along just fine.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, Sophie, I have the perfect costume for this. I'll be right back. And he's going to go dress up like a fisherman.
I love it.
Oh my
so
goodness.
Happy.
He's going to have like oil stains on his face, but it's all grease paint.
Oh
Delightful. God. Oh my goodness.
I am here for this.
But Julian, darling, make sure you keep your hands in your pockets because it will be obvious because they're so soft. You only have the calluses from your playing. You don't have like workman's hands,
Well, it depends on the work now, doesn't it?
For future reference, just so everyone knows, every time I cackle, that's not Sophie, that's Eric.
Every cackle is in character. That's how it works. All right. I think that's probably just about where we'll call it. As we wrap up, we slowly pan out over the Ballard docks. The sun is just starting to sink behind the Olympic Mountains, still just barely visible through the clouds gathering on the western horizon. Julian Benavides and Sophie Ingesdotter share their findings and discuss what Vossen may be at work aboard the Fiskesøker, although Julian is slightly distracted, deciding what to wear for his first appearance at the Brunswick. Caelan, Tegan, and the fishing ship's crew wrap up for the day, making their way down the gangplank. While they joke together, there's a hard edge of tension to their words, a tightness in the chest, and a strained note in every laugh, as each sailor thinks about the accidents which have happened, and who among them is to blame. Captain Jakob Norland watches his crew go, running his hand over his elaborately braided beard. He reaches into his vest and withdraws a plain gold ring. He stares at it until the last bit of day disappears behind the mountains, and then he heads below deck to his cabin. He doesn't notice either of the shadowy forms which watch him go, and then push and jostle one another in the wake of his departure. Thank you for listening to this episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. Our theme song is Myths and Legends by Robert Bruckmeyer, which is playing right now. Our music is by Andreas Lundström, and you can hear more of his work on the Sweden Rolls podcast. Link in the show notes. Our editor is Hannah Cheney. If you're enjoying this show, please take 2 minutes to rate and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. I know every podcast says it, but it really does make a difference and helps us continue to grow the show. Finally, remember the motto of the library. Fear gives way to knowledge. Knowledge gives way to wisdom. And wisdom gives way to the truth. Until next time.